That's awesome. Yeah.
Alrighty, we are live. Hi guys, welcome
Hey.
or welcome back to my channel, the Tarot Magician Renee here. Today we have a very special guest, Scott from Scorpio Moon Tarot. You want to say hello, Scott? Go ahead. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Yes. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Six of Wands. Hi, Regina. Hope you guys are
Yes.
doing
Hey,
well.
Nancy, Regina, Six of Wands. Appreciate you coming.
So today we're just going to have a casual conversation. I want to be asking Scott a few questions, and you guys feel free to ask questions as well. If you can, just either tag me in the question or put the question in all caps in case I, try not to miss anybody who may have questions. So we're just going to start off by saying I do have the link to channel Scott in the description below. To Scott's channel. You see, I'm already messing up my words. I do have the link to his channel down below, so if you are not subscribed to him, please go subscribe to him. Started his channel, and he's doing amazing so far. But Scott, you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, your story, your channel, and etc., etc.
Sure. Just to see a few more people coming in. I think I said Regina. Hi.
Hi,
Orsi is here.
Hi, Orsi.
Jean and Talia. Welcome.
Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you.
Yes, definitely. So I started my channel about maybe 2 weeks. I believe I'm entering my third week, maybe just barely into my third week. And released quite a lot of videos because I didn't know how comfortable I would be at first. And I thought, because I don't like being in front of the camera. But then it just I don't know, stuff just started rolling off that I needed to do. Like, I want to do a video on this, want to do a video on that. And also by, going to people like yours channels, by inspiration and stuff that you all have done, I was like, oh, I want to do something like that. And so, it's been a really cool experience so far.
That is awesome. I love that. So did you have any, when you first started your channel, what was your goal with it, or what did you want to bring about it? And also, like you were talking about inspiration, was there anything else that maybe have inspired you, or people who inspired you to kind of hey, you need to start a channel,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So when I first got I just felt kind of a calling that I needed to do it. I met you and so many other people through Tarot-thon, and that was just
so
incredible. And I was like, I want to be part of that, but I'm not, how you get in your mind and you can't do that. You look horrible on, video and all that. But I just pushed that aside and decided, you know what, I want to, use what I know that I've learned, through the past, and maybe it'll resonate with someone else and we'll learn together.
Right.
So that's what I hope to accomplish. And also, we were talking about the empath thing, and that's something that has really, I found my place, kind of in life by, hey, you're an empath and that's okay. That's actually a superpower, right? So, yeah.
Indeed. For sure. So let's talk a little bit more about your empathic skills and your abilities. When did you first realize you were an empath, or do you have a specific memory when you're kind of something's different here? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, probably as far back as I can remember, I've always been different, But I remember, I don't know, just like I said, in middle school, picking up on energies of everybody else. It was so overwhelming,
Right.
And even in elementary school, just a lot of, soaking up that sponge, being in that low density of an empath. And because I didn't think I had a choice, right? So I was always running. When I was, younger. And then when I got to be a little bit older, I still didn't know how to, to channel it correctly. Yes, it came out in other ways that weren't healthy. And, I've had to heal those things. But, I've just learned that being an empath is pretty awesome. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, now that I have more control over it, every now and then, I still tend to let the mindset, take over. But then I realized, hey, Renee, like snap out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to get yourself in check the more that you practice, the more that you're aware of it. And I love how you brought up
Right.
like the whole like middle school, elementary school type of thing, because for me, I feel like it started during high school. That was like my biggest like moment, I
Hmm.
think. Because my family was always moving around a lot, so it was really hard for me to like make friends and like to like stick to a certain friend group, if that makes sense. Do you know how in high school, like once you get to high school, everybody's pretty much set on like their clique and like who they're friends with and like, stuff like that. So I had to move in the middle of my high school year, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
I
Yeah.
think that's when it kicked in, because when I moved, I started not really being myself, and I noticed that, right? I was like, hey, normally I'm like a very
Yeah.
upbeat type of person. I mean, you see my lives, right? I try to be like
Hmm.
upbeat. I try to be like, keep positivity going, right? But then all of a sudden, I just felt like an energy shift during that time in my life, and I was just kind of like, okay, like, what's going on with
Yeah.
me? Like, I'm normally not like this. But I think that's what triggered it. Like you said, like, it's always been a part of you, but I do believe there are moments in time when it triggers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely
And
it does.
yeah, I definitely think that that was my moment in time for sure. So I loved how you kind of like brought that up, because it resonated with me very much. After that, I was just kind of like, wow, like it made me realize, like, I've been an empath ever since I can remember. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's a big difference, I think, between being a empath in high vibration and empath in lower vibration. And I think I am an empath in higher vibration. Here goes my words. Most of the time. But I mean, there's times that I go down to the low vibration as
Right,
well. And as I say, you're not where you're supposed to be. You got to transmute that. And the whole thing is, I think when we were kids, we didn't think we had a choice, right? We thought
right.
that we had to be this way. You're a freak, you're weird, you just,
Those
and you're listening to everything everybody tells you and everything you're picking up from other people,
yeah,
that they don't even say, that you pick up, and you know exactly what they're saying and how they feel about you. And it's just so overwhelming at times.
right.
I mean, I remember faking a sickness in the ninth grade. And
That's too plenty of
I was out of school for a month, and I
time.
like went to the doctor, and he's like, "I think you have mono." He had no clue. I didn't have mono, but anyway, I was just so like terrified of school and the
Right,
people there, and being picked on, being called gay, and not just that, but just being different in general and picking up all those energies. That I was just like, I'm staying home. So that, yeah, it,
I
it was a much
I
bigger
cannot
challenge
tell
then.
you. I cannot tell you how many times I tried to fake sick during school. I mean,
Right. Right. Not proud of that, but when you're in that low level and you're in, especially in that transitioning age, I don't know if any of you, have kids that are in that age, but it is such a time where your emotions are just going crazy anyways. And if you're an empath, that's
even
going to heighten it. Right. Like 100%. Right.
yeah. So let's talk about, now that you realize, the high vibration, low vibration. What do you do when you notice you're in the low vibrational energy? Like, do you have like a self care type of routine, or do you just tell yourself, with your mindset, what it is that you do to pick yourself back up to the high vibrational energy?
That's a great question. So I have these sticky notes like all over the place on my,
I love to.
my meditation board and everywhere. And I have them taped because of work stuff. But, is just like looking at one now about, are you angry? And, I have a job where I have to listen to a lot of people who might not want to hear from me. And we're making, calls to customers, but at the same time, these are sometimes customers who don't want to be bothered. So I get yelled at and cussed at just about every day.
Oh yeah. I used to work for
And
the DMV. Okay, I feel you.
Right. And so that anger was something that was really getting to me because I could even tell, like before the phone call would even be answered. And especially when I heard that first hello, I
Mhm.
knew if this was going to be a good call or a bad call.
Yeah.
And when I say bad call, what you were talking about, this is going to have to be something I transform,
Mhm.
right? And what I've learned, over the past year is that you can just transform that energy. Like I feel it in my gut. Like it just overwhelmingly, my gut feels like it's just sinking.
Right.
When I'm around that kind of low vibration, and I can't just hang up on the person, or I've got to do what I need to do or do my job.
Right.
And, I take that, and I've learned this from Christina Lopes. And if you guys don't know who she is, oh my goodness, she's like the queen of empaths. She is a badass. And
I
just
love
put in
that.
Christina Lopes on YouTube. But hope you don't mind me
No, no, no. Go ahead.
saying that. But
Yeah,
she's
for sure.
she's awesome, awesome. And what she talks about is taking, that pain, taking that all those negative feelings and that negative vibration, and moving it to your heart, and then
Ooh,
transforming it.
I,
And it goes back to that choice thing. I think we don't feel like we have that choice,
yeah,
right, to actually change, but you can make that choice. And when you do, and you shower those people with love, and you don't waver in the way that you talk, and they might be yelling, you remain calm. One or two things usually happens: they either hang up or they change completely.
yeah,
And they're like, and I've even had people apologize to me. I'm so sorry. I was, and most of the time it's not personal, at all. Anyway, I've got one right here I'm looking at that I learned from, the videos and everything. And it says Q-tip, quit taking it personally.
yeah.
And I think empaths especially take
It's
things
such,
personally, right? It's very easy to, because you feel it. How can you not take it personally? Because you feel
exactly.
it. And the key for me is not running away from that energy,
Right.
not trying to destroy that, because energy cannot be destroyed,
No.
right? So you transform the energy into something positive and move that to your heart. So,
Well, I
yeah.
love that. I think that was a perfect explanation, and it was like right on point.
Thank you. I just wanted to kind of say hi to a couple. Deanne, Orsi. I think I said Orsi before. I see Deanne's here.
Yes.
Um,
Hello, guys.
Antoinette's here. Thank you guys. If I miss you, sorry. I'm kind of looking both places. Got my computer here. But I appreciate y'all so much.
And for those of you guys
Yes.
coming in, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask away. Either tag us
Yes.
or put it in all caps. That way we know and we don't miss anybody, and we'll answer questions throughout the live.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
So let's talk. Do you have any like stories in regards to being an empath? Like, because I know with me being an empath, I've had people tell me that, oh my gosh, you literally like just read my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
have you had any stories like similar to that kind of situation?
Yeah, yeah. So, there's several different types of empaths, and I am very much an emotional, empath. But, and I have been a physical empath at times too, where you take on the physical aspects of
Yes.
another person, whether they be right in front of you or not. So this was way before my spiritual journey began, way before, and probably 2002 or three, can't remember, but I remember, being really nervous because my mom was going into surgery for back surgery.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, my right knee just started like absolutely killing me. And I was getting ready, I was dialing her number. Like, my knee is freaking, like, I felt like I couldn't even move it. It was like so painful. I was like, what is
Right.
going on? And then mom, gets on the phone. Of course, I want to shift. And I'm like, how do you feel? Everything. She's like, I don't. My back feels fine, but I don't know what's wrong with my knee. I'm
Aw.
like, is it your back? Is it your right knee? She's like, yes. And I'm like, is it in this corner? The top corner, right? She said, yes.
Yeah.
How did you know? And then she just kind of went on to something else because she's probably under the drugs and everything from the
Right.
surgery.
Uh-huh.
But I realized that I'm like, how did I do that?
Mhm.
I didn't, it was just another part of me that seemed to be weird, right? But yeah, now it all makes sense.
It does. Yeah. I like how you brought that up too, because they're being an empath, we feel everything, not just the emotions, but the physical side of it too. The
Yes.
reason why we feel it again is could like to one help other people, right? So they can heal themselves as well. But like I said, I have had experiences with that as well, where I literally felt the physical pain, right?
Right.
Because I do mediumship. That's one of my main things that I do. And during the mediumship, sometimes with spirit will tell me either like how they passed or things of that nature. And for example, I did one reading a while back, where all of a sudden my head was just like literally felt like I had a hole in my head. And I was
Wow.
like, what is this? Right. And then I asked my client, I was like, I know this is very like, random to ask. And I usually don't like to ask how they died, but did they get shot in the head, like right here? And they're like, oh my God, yes, that's how they died. And I was like, I
Wow.
literally felt like a hole like in my head. It was the craziest feeling. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
feeling
Sure do.
that
Wow.
emotional.
That's a
Yeah.
lot bigger than the other one. That's wow. I've never had one quite like that.
Yeah, like
So,
the emotional aspect and the physical aspect. And that's too, I think I don't know if you agree with me, but I think it's a little bit harder to get out of the physical feeling of it rather than the emotion, because now you're feeling it too. So you're kind of like, is this me,
right.
them? Like, you start to kind of question like what's going on. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually me feeling this or if it's just the other person. So you start to get in your head.
Right. And I'm actually, I think, kind of the opposite of you. So I will feel the emotion a lot stronger. And I've only done the physical, a few times,
Mhm.
handful of times, in my life. But I noticed that my that empathic intuition,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are watching, if anybody who's been on their spiritual journey, for a short amount of time, when I really like got through that dark night of the soul kind of thing where I was doing it by myself, and I got into meeting everyone. Oh my word, did everything just vamp up? Like
Yeah.
synchronicities everywhere, just like things, everything just had a meaning. It was just completely different, and my empathic abilities went sky high,
Right.
and that's pretty awesome. But sometimes you have to reel that down too, right? When it's bad. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I love Orsi's comment. She says, I'm honestly glad I'm not an empath.
Orsi. That is true. Orsi style right there. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, it's Six of Wands, very intense, definitely, Nancy, as well. It can be very
Yep.
intense, but that's where we have to kind of tell ourselves, like, okay, snap out of it. This isn't you?
Right. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it has there's highs and lows just like with everything. And what I've learned is that being an empath is a gift. It
Yes.
is a gift. And that people like corporations have started testing people to see if they're an empath, and they want to
Really?
hire empaths more
Wow.
now. And I think this is going to especially be true in the future,
Mhm.
that empaths are going to be raised to another level because they are able to see things that maybe your boss or the people in the corporation cannot see because they're
Uh-huh.
not empaths. And you
Oh,
know like
love
I'm
you
an
brought that
assistant
up.
manager sort of, but I've done some interviews and stuff, and if somebody walks in, I know right away if you're right or not for this company.
Yes.
I know right away. And
Uh-huh.
so bosses were like, hey, you were right about that one. And so I've just learned to trust that gut instinct that you get, when you're usually meeting someone. I usually know right away, is
Right.
this it doesn't mean one person's bad or one person's good. It just means we're at different levels, and you might not be at the
Same.
level where you can work in this environment, etc.
I
Be
agree
my
with that.
friend, etc.
I agree with the whole like not one person good is good, not one person is bad, because I hate the concept of good and bad, or I hate the concept of like good and evil. Like, what I'm saying? It's a whole nother level, yes, but it doesn't
Right.
determine like who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh yeah.
we never know what someone is going through, or we never know what, the situation is at hand. So that's where you say, we kind of have to like block it out a little bit, but also see it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I love how you brought up the whole like corporate thing because I used to work for the DMV, right?
Oh my gosh, what a job that would be. No, would not ever.
As
Would
an
not ever want to do that.
as an empath, I didn't even last a year at that job.
Oh, I don't think I'd last a day at that job. Are you kidding? But I think, well, I'm kind of in a rural area now. I don't know what kind of area you're in, but I did live in Florida in a very, busy in the Tampa Bay area. And if you needed to go to the DMV, you needed to take your whole day off
Yes.
because that's how busy it was. And those tellers, you could tell, whatever you call them, I'm not sure, representatives, they are not happy.
No.
They are not happy at all. And they're soaking in so much energy, right?
Let me tell you why we weren't happy, right?
Yes, please.
First of all, training at the DMV is ridiculous, right? Because there's so many different positions. And I worked with both the tax station and with the cars, right? Like I worked with both. And not only that, but not only the training is horrible, but on top of that, the laws and things are always changing. They're always changing,
yeah, I bet.
like all the time. So it's like one day we're doing it this way, next week it's a whole different way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just kind of like, what? Like I was just like couldn't do it. I was like, and then again, the whole environment there, everybody was just so toxic, so depressing. I saw people there that were like in their 60s still working there, and I'm like, I don't want to end up like that. Like, I don't want to end up like that. This is not for me. Like, I can't take it. Like, I'm out. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
That was
definitely
ridiculous.
See that.
So
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No.
What advice would you have for someone who is barely getting to the idea that they could be an empath themselves? Like, what advice would you give them?
I would just say see it as a strength and not a weakness. And know that you can change and transform. Surround yourself by things, people, like the community that I found through tarot. You might have a love of something else, of art or whatever. Find those people on YouTube. There's probably a community there, right? Do that. Surround yourself by things that build you up, and get rid of those things that no longer resonate or bring you down. Make sure that you're in the right kind of relationships, friendships, that those are people that are, bringing you up. And I mean, not all the time, but, everybody's human. Right. But for the most part, surround yourself with good things, especially if you're new to, your spiritual journey and realizing that you are an empath. I think it's so important that you do a lot of study. That's what I did. I found Christina Lopes first, and then I started finding all these other people, and then I found Simon at the Hermit's, cave when I started getting into tarot, and everything just progressed from there. And if you ask, another thing just came to my mind, if you ask when you're meditating, these things will occur. Like you ask for what you need. Right. And in one of my videos, I was talking about, how I had a tarot reader, give me some advice. And it was the time when I had no one around me. And she's like, you're not supposed to be alone anymore. You've been doing this for how long? I'm like, a year and a half, been working from home, just me. And she's like, no, you don't need to do this anymore. And it wasn't a day. Well, it was that night. Sorry, backing up. So that night I did a meditation. I said, okay, can you bring like 1 or 2, 3 people, 4 people, maybe? I don't know. To similar to me, so I'm not feeling so alone, because there's nobody in this area. My nearest metaphysical shop is 2 hours away. Like, you don't see anything. The nearest gay bar is like 2 hours away. Not that I'd want to go right now, but you know what I mean. So I felt very alone in that way. I'm very independent as well, so being alone doesn't really bother me. But it was the fact that I didn't have anybody to share my passions with tarot and oracle and all these things that I found. And then I found Tarothon, and I didn't find 3 or 4 people. I found a mountain, like 100 people. I found you and Nancy and everybody, in the chat that's come to support me. I found you guys, and it's a blessing. So I would say if you're new and you're realizing you're an empath, find other empathic people. Or she said she wasn't, and that there's always, some that are, some that aren't. But I think a lot of people who read tarot are empathic.
Yeah.
And maybe, or you are and you just don't know it. But but if you're reading the cards, right, you're pulling out emotions and how they make you feel, kind of, right? That's how does this card make you feel, and what does you change that? What does it say to my intuition? Oh, that must be what it means.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of went down a rabbit hole there, Renee.
Totally good. Let's talk more about your tarot journey. So how long did you say have you been reading tarot at this point already?
So I actually I had a group of friends in Florida, and there was just one known. We just knew she was a witch, and that's all we knew about her. But she was awesome. We didn't care, So one night we were at her apartment, and she's like, I want to read your palms, and I want to do tarot readings and stuff like that. And I had never, been around anything like that before. So I was like, sure, let's do it. And she told me things, and I was like, how in the hell did she know that?
Yeah.
But I never felt called to it after that until, I was in my spiritual journey, and December, I think, is when I got my first deck. I think it was the 24th or 26th. It was the day before Christmas. And just pretty much changed my outlook on so many things. I had something visible, something that I can hold in my hands that's going to lead me, into a different place, into a good place, that I can go to kind of for a safe haven.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So when you first got into tarot, what were your initial feelings about it? What were your initial thoughts about it? Did you think that it was going to be easy, or did you feel like it was going to be a little bit harder? Because I know a lot of people, when they first start off, they tend to have different ideas about it, and some of them kind of put a stop to it and then come back to it. What was your process?
Right, so that's a great question. So the first deck I got, I had no idea what the hell it was. It was The Wild Unknown by Kim Krans, and a lot of people know that is not a deck for beginners. But one of my friends, the only person that I knew that was really into tarot, I asked him what I should get. And she's like, I've got one, but it's a little sassy. And she said, this is The Wild Unknown. And I'm like, well, I'll just get that one. But I did not resonate with that one. However, it led me into wanting to know more about other decks. And then I got the Gilded Royale by, or Royal, not sure which, by, I struggle over his name. Ciro Marchetti. That's how you say it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes. I had enough people correct me. I know how to say it now. I just have to think. But I loved his imagery. I loved the art. I fell in love with art through his decks. And it just made me want to explore more and more and more. And then I learned there's oracle cards, and they could be on any topic. You get an animal deck, an angel deck, and it was just all so exciting. And so there you go.
So you went crazy, right? And you splurged on a whole bunch when you first started.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I did. And me and Nancy were talking about this not long ago. And me and Nancy do a lot of video chats. And she's like, "Oh, Scott, honey, I did the same thing. You just
a lot of us did.
Yeah, but you know what? It's your own personal thing. What helps you, and if that's what helps you on your spiritual journey, then that's what helps you. So
exactly. So do you what's your plan with tarot? Do you just read for yourself? Are you wanting to read for other people? What are you in regards to that kind of situation?
Yeah. So and I didn't mean to avoid your question there about what I thought at first. So the Gilded Royale really I had to really study that really hard, and I know a lot of people use the Rider-Waite, but I used that, and it took me a long time. I would sit with the images and I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. And then I'd go to the guidebook, it'd be a totally different meaning. And then I started seeing, and then my intuition started picking up.
Right.
So, yeah. And what was your question after that? I'm sorry. One track mind.
My question was, what's your plan with it? Like, are you just
Oh,
reading
with the channel.
yourself? Yeah. Are you going to read for other people? Like, what's your plan?
Well, I always thought going into this that it was going to be more walkthroughs and also kind of putting a psychology, kind of spiritual spin on it as well. Have a background in psychology.
Mhm.
So I wanted to bring that in a little bit. And I was mainly thinking about doing walkthroughs. But I've done a couple of readings with friends and absolutely love it. And I think I learned more maybe than they do. Is that thing again? But yeah. So I don't know exactly where it's going. But I think that it
Go
would
flow.
be yeah, eventually I think that, and this is something I've just discovered in the last day or two. I think I want to do it full time eventually, but you have to build up for that, right? So
Oh, mhm.
yeah. So I'm just a brand new little baby, but it is something that I think I would like to definitely keep doing for a really long time. And even if you have one person that you're, touching and making a difference, that's worth it. So
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm very lucky that I now get to call this my full-time job.
Yes, I love that you're able to do that, Renee. That's
Yes, it
awesome.
is. It's just like it's been an experience for sure, and now more so, it's really picking up for me. Really, like a lot. Like for example, yesterday I did about 28 full-on readings. So it's
Wow, that's a lot.
yeah, yeah. But it is
That is a lot.
for me. It's just like the fact that I get to help people, like you said, like that's the part that like keeps me going and keeps me energized. So I'm like, all right, come on,
Right.
I can do this. Like.
Right. Yeah.
But I
Absolutely.
definitely feel like if you want to do it full time, just stick with it and you'll eventually get there. It's a process, but you'll get there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Definitely.
Yes. So, what is your favorite tarot deck at the moment? Or do you have like a couple of favorites? Like, what's going on with that?
The black light, by
Oh,
far. Yeah.
I
And
love
you
that
have
too.
this too. You have this deck because I saw you do a reading. And I try to stop in every night and at least say hi. And yeah, I see you do the. And if you're doing the black light, I'm like, I'm staying right here.
Yeah. I agree.
it, it
It's
just
so
draws
fun.
me in, right?
Yes, me too. I think I first saw it. I think Simon was the one I saw it on his channel, and as soon as I saw it on his channel, I was like, I'm eventually getting that deck, right?
Right. Yeah.
I got it for myself as like a Christmas present this past Christmas, and
Right.
I was like, yes, I was like, I'm gonna get. It's a pricey deck, but it's worth it. And oh my gosh, I've
It
gotten
is a
so
little bit
many
pricey.
compliments. Oh, so many
Yeah.
compliments, and that's so worth it. Like.
Did you know that they have a bunch of other decks, the same creators? Did you know
Yes,
that?
yes.
So
There's so
there's
many that I want to get.
yeah. So I have the black light. I also have the groovy weight, which is
Yes.
really cool, and I have the trippin weight,
Yeah.
which is really cool as well. So, but there's more. Yeah, those two people. I think there's a husband and wife, maybe. It's at Tarot Collectibles, but they're amazing. Like it.
They are. They're so sweet. And I think there's another one too that I saw. I don't know if it was either a zombie one or an alien one. Something along those lines where I saw just like real quick.
Oh yeah. It's like an apocalyptic
Yeah,
deck,
right?
right? Yeah, I saw that on their website. Yeah,
Uh-huh. I saw
that
that.
one didn't quite resonate with me as much, but yeah.
I love anything like alien
Do you?
apocalypse. I love anything
Apocalyptic.
like
Yeah.
I love anything that has to do with like that scenario. That I don't know why, but it fascinates me, I guess. Like one of my favorite movies is, have you seen it? It's called This Is the End. Have you seen that movie?
I think I have.
It's with
Oh, is that comedy, that crazy comedy where
Girl
Rihanna falls
Gentleman.
into a hole?
Yes, that one.
Oh my gosh, that is
I
the
love that.
craziest. We won't even talk about what's his name, Chris. Oh, I can't think. I'll have to. It's towards the end, and there's a really
Oh
famous actor there. Can you still see me?
no, we blacked out. You can hear me talk.
Okay. Give me a second here. I don't know what happened.
It's all good. Yes, right, Henry. It is a hilarious movie. I think I like that the realism of it though, because they play their own like persona. You know what I'm saying? And I really liked that fact. And I think they did a good job of portraying like the apocalypse situation. At least what I think.
Right. Am I back or no?
No, there's still black screen. It's all good
I'm
though.
not sure what's happening.
Blacked out. I know, right, Andy? So,
Let's see.
while we're waiting, does anybody have any questions? I mean, Scott is open to taking any type of question. So, feel
Renee,
free.
I'm going to pop out for a minute and try to pop. Oh, there I am.
There
Can you
you
see
are.
me now?
Yes, we can see you now.
Yay, I'm back. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Perfect. Well, I was letting everybody know that they can ask questions if they want to. But I got another question in my head. So, do you know how many decks you have at this moment?
No, but I know approximately. I'm around the 150 mark, I think, and I'm so excited to. And I haven't bought one in a couple of weeks, so that
Yeah.
just tells you, like, I went mad, right? Like the Mad Hatter, like the little cat in the bag. But anyway, it's, yeah. So, yeah, I've got. I think I have right at 75 to 78 tarot decks, which is perfect because I want to do that mashup. I know. So I always say her name wrong. Sadhana. Yeah, she does. Where you take like one card from each deck that's your favorite, and you got to use all 78 cards are from different decks.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I want to do that so bad, and I'm not sure if I'm quite there. I think I'm around the 78 mark exactly. So, with that, the rest are Oracle. So, yeah.
Well, now I gotta get to 78 in my collection. I think I have like 31 at this point, 32 maybe. Tarot.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just tarot. And Oracle, I think I have maybe like 10 or 15, I think. I don't know. I recently counted and then I forgot the number.
You're much more conservative than I am with that. And that's probably a good thing.
Well, only because my finances haven't been the best recently, but it's
right.
back up again. So
yeah, I've definitely come to a pause with my buying of decks, and that's a good thing for right now. So yeah.
Do you have a specific like for example, me, I love very colorful decks. I'm also open to like other. Do you like colorful ones too? Because your favorite one's a black light, right?
The brighter, the better.
Absolutely. Me too.
Like, it just speaks to me so much more. I loved decks that have to do with chakras and the different colors and pulling those colors out of the cards, and seeing how that works with each card. And yeah, I love stuff like that. So.
Me too. The brighter, the colorful, the more colors in it, I'm there.
Right. I'm just reading real quick. I think it's Jackie said that aliens abducted Scott.
That's why
I blacked out there. Yeah, probably it was not the first
time. Yeah. So what about with your Oracle collection? What's your favorite Oracle deck at the moment?
Oh, so I would say Kyle Gray. Do you know who Kyle Gray is?
Doesn't come to mind, but I'm pretty sure I have something.
Okay, so he is from the UK, and he's a younger guy. I think in his maybe late 20s, and he has the ability to talk to angels, and he has made like 3 or 4 angel decks, and there's one called, I think it's Angel Prayers. It always is falling out. Like every day it falls out at me.
Really?
And, like literally falls out of my shelf when I go to pull one. Like it's like me again.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite one. It really speaks to me. So.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Okay, I think Regina has a question. Is there a deck you weren't sure that you like at first, but turned into a favorite?
Yeah, several. The Light Seers, I passed on that thing for months, and then I got it, and I was like, holy cow, this is so easy. And the book was so awesome and so easy to read. So the Light Seers, I might have a unicorn. Yes, I have a unicorn deck, but I love it.
It's so cute, right?
I was like, why the hell am I getting a unicorn deck? And, one of my friends was like, you have to have this deck. I was like, really? And so I bought it, and just fell in love with it. I'm like, when you get a tarot reading and things, it's a little iffy. You don't know, you're not sure about that energy.
Yeah.
Slap a unicorn on that bitch, and it just lights it up. So
Exactly. So much better.
yes, and the Beyond Lemuria is the same reason. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's very much, that's that type of vibe. Yeah, so
Right.
it's a unicorn kind of thing.
That's so cute. I don't think I can think of one at the top of my head, because normally when I get a deck, I make sure that I know I'm gonna love it. Like,
Right, yeah.
I'm very thorough with my decisions, and like I'll literally look over it like 10 times. I'll look through 10 different walkthroughs, make sure I get a lot of different personalities and perspectives, and then I'm like, okay, I'm getting it. Like,
Right. And I try to do that too with most decks, unless it's just one that everybody's talking about, and I'm like, maybe I need to try it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Orsi's asking, Scott, do you have the When My Soul Whispered Oracle?
No, I do not. But I need to write that down, and I will write that down when I get a pen.
That sounds like a good one.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? And Orsi is from Hungary. And I love how the community just has so many people, from all walks of life, and really connected with her. Who would have thought? Connect with a person that's a lot like you in the other part of the world. But yeah, there's so many people like that are in this community. I love the diversity and that everybody's different. So
yes, I love that too. That's part of the reason why I love doing like interviews and connecting with people too, because I'm like, wow, I have friends all over the world. Like,
right, absolutely, yeah,
for sure. All right, so I don't think I see any other questions here. Let me just double check.
Yeah, Gerald wants to do a tarot deck study with me for the Wild Unknown. Contact me. Oh, I don't know about that one. I'll just be like, I don't know. There's a bird doing something weird. I don't know. So that's just me. And a lot of people love the Wild Unknown, and that's awesome. But it sits in my other room. It's with the ones that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago that are just like, they never say anything except for, I'm not supposed to be here. I don't like it here. So they go in the other room, and then the ones I work with are here. So there's not too many in there, but majority are right here that I work with.
Speaking of animals, do you have like a spirit animal? I know that's a very big topic sometimes in the community.
You're looking at him. Yeah, my spirit animal. And there's different, like, you think of totem animals. I think the panther is my totem animal. Right. That's the animal that stays with you for life.
Yeah.
Right. So, I've always been a Carolina fan. I've always Panther, always loved Panthers. And I see Panthers all the time now. Like the animal decks I have, the Panthers fall out constantly. And a lot of cats fall out to me. So I say cats in general, I believe, are my totem. But you get lots of spirit animals too, right? That they're coming to teach you a lesson. They might fly by, a butterfly or something, and then they're trying to send you. That's a message from spirit saying, "Hey, pay attention to this part." Butterfly. Oh, I need to transform something.
Yeah.
Right, or whatever it means to you. So I think there's a little bit of both. I've got a funky little rabbit that pops up in my meditations. I'm like, what the? I don't understand what you are, but hi. Yeah, there's a little.
I have a couple of rabbits. They're so cute.
Yeah, but this is a funky little one. Like he's not that cute. And he pops up, and I'm like, what in the world was that? And you can see things in your third eye. Mm-hmm. I think before spiritual journeys, before mine, I would see things, but it'd be like, okay, well, that's just the light reflecting. It's nothing. And I would just push it away. And for somebody else, they might not have seen anything where I see that rabbit. I see that rabbit now. So, and it's so great to be around people who don't think I'm crazy for that. And I don't have to hide that. And that's everything, because that's not the community that I live in around me. It's totally, I would be labeled a crazy person, probably burn down my apartments, they burn the witch. It's just
Oh, trust
one
me, I
of
do
those
that all the time. I do.
things.
I do call myself a witch now, and my family is always like, "That's the devil," and I'm like, "No, no." I have to deal with that all the time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I dealt with that just recently with one of my lifelong friends, and she took me being gay better. And she's, again, everybody pretty much in this area is strict Southern Baptist, just
Mhm.
that's the community that we're around.
Right.
And, she took me being gay better than she took when I told her that I read tarot.
Right.
She's like, you're gonna become a demon worshiper. You're going to hell. You need to change. Let me come. Let me help you. We'll take them all away. I'm like, you're not coming.
Yeah,
I'm good.
you're not
Let's.
anywhere near my house.
Yeah, yeah. So I learned that was a mistake. So I'm very careful with who I share that with. I mean, they can find me now, but I've got the channel. But it's just one of those things, right?
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I don't care what anyone says because it's at this point, like you talk about it so
Yeah.
much. It's like it's a never ending scenario. Like, so just like leave it. Like, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm actually helping people. Like, quite the
Yes. Yes.
opposite.
Absolutely.
I'm just not helping them in the way that you help them. Like, there's different ways
Right.
people respond to, and I'm on the other part of it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that too. It's like, you know, unfortunately for me, in my background, it was ingrained in me that this is the way, you learn the truth and light. No one comes to the Father but by me. And then it was interpreted to me that that's it. You do not, if you go any,
No, question it.
every other religion, every other belief is wrong.
Right.
And so, that's when I think a lot of the judging, not say anything bad about Christians. I have a lot of Christian friends who are, great,
Hmm.
but I don't think I'm going to tell any more about tarot.
Yeah.
So if I could just do a real quick hi, I think I saw Neem come in.
Neem
Hi,
came.
Neem. Yes. So anyway.
So then going back, because I know earlier you mentioned some, psychic abilities and seeing things of your third eye. Do you feel like, besides an empath, because I know empath can be something different, even though it's kind of like the same thing. Do you ever have
Mhm.
any like, visions, or do you have dreams also that you feel like you see things that kind of are different than what you normally would? Going back to that topic, because I love hearing stories about that.
Okay, so yeah, I have actually, and this was before I even knew what an empath was, and I think it's part of our empathic ability.
Yeah.
Is I lucid dreamed when I was like 10, 11 years old because I was having nightmares so bad,
Mhm.
and I mean just horrible nightmares, and I would tell myself before I went to bed, I would just constantly say, "Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up,"
Right.
and I would just put that in my head, and then I would get into a dream, and I would literally be in there and see myself, and if there was something I didn't like, I'd say, wake up," and I woke up like that.
Right. Uh-huh.
So that's just one of the things. And then, I've had a few, I haven't had as many since, been doing the spiritual journey, but I've been trying to, I've been even listening to like meditations on lucid dreaming because that is really interesting to me as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I lucid dream almost every night, and
Are you serious?
yeah,
Wow. We need
like
to talk about that. That's
I
awesome.
have. It can be it can be tiring, right? Like you wake up and you
Oh
feel
yeah.
like you can't even sleep, like you know.
Right. Right.
But no, yeah, I lucid dream all the time. But I do, like you said, I have the capability to wake myself up too. Like in the mid of the dream,
Hmm.
I'm aware of what's going on, and I try to take control. Like you said, if there's something that feels off, or if there's something that just isn't like right, you're just kind of like, okay, wake up, like And I like tell myself like over and over, like, wake up, Renee, you're in a
Wake
dream.
up. Yep.
Like wake up, and I just like I end up waking up, but then that's when you feel like extra tired, like I said, because it's like you're working so hard even in your dream. It's like, did I even
Right.
sleep? Like,
Right. Yeah.
yes.
I
So
had kind of a fun. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
tell your story. I want to hear more.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking of a funny story that happened a couple years ago when I was lucid dreaming, and I was like, "This is almost embarrassing," but I was like, "I've been in these
Mm.
dreams, and there's these good-looking men, but they're not paying any attention to me. And if I'm in control of my dream,
You're
I
like,
can get them to pay attention to me." I know this sounds really weird, but I started dreaming, and I would lucid dream, and there was guys that would walk by me, and they're like gorgeous, and they're like not even looking at me, and I'm like, "Excuse me, you're with me now," and they would just be like,
I agree.
"No, no, I'm not," and I'm like, "Yes, you are," and then they would be like, "Of course I am," and then come, and then what's horrible is that is when the dream ended. Like I
No,
never got to the next part of the dream ever. Like
I know.
the best part was not there, right? That's frustrating.
I
Maybe
know.
TMI there. Sorry, guys.
I have dreams like that. I have dreams like that too, where I wake up and I'm like, wait, I didn't want to wake up from that one. Like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like when it's finally getting to a point where it's making sense and you
Uh-huh.
wake up. Have you ever had dreams where you've seen symbols or signs in the
Oh
air?
yeah. Hmm.
I did this meditation with Amber from Lavender Moon, and she was seeing, she was talking about different, I forget what's it called. Is it not orbs? Yeah. So she's talking about orbs and seeing those. And her dad did this meditation. And when I closed my eyes, I literally saw symbols in my third eye. And
Ooh.
then when I went to sleep a little bit later, a couple nights later, um, I remember being like in an ocean and looking up and seeing the signs of the zodiac. And they were just like the Scorpio was on fire or the Aries. I can't remember, but they were, and I was like, oh, there's that one, there's this one, there's this one. And it
Uh-huh.
was just like it was normal. It
Yeah.
was normal. So I'm like, when I woke up, I'm like, was I in another dimension? Was I in another reality at that time?
Hmm.
So that's another thing that I love to kind of delve into. Are there other realities going on at the same time as this one?
I
Are
believe.
I believe so as well.
Like, have you
Yes.
seen that one episode? I always love going back to TV shows and like movies, like for my examples.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen that one episode of Charmed where they kind of show other dimensions as well within one, but they're like different people in other dimensions, but that's what makes them kind of like balance out in the dimension that they're like actually in. Like, does that make sense? You know?
Yeah, I mean, since I haven't seen that, but a lot of people told me good things about Tron, but I've never seen it at all. So,
Oh, you haven't seen it? You need to watch it. You need to watch it. It's
yeah, probably
good.
should. Have you seen the movie Coherence?
Coherence. It sounds familiar, but I don't think so.
Well, it's been out for a long time. It's one of those little hidden gems, I believe, because it was way ahead of its time. It's like 2013 or 14. Not
Mhm.
sure. I actually watched it again last night, and I was like, now that I'm an empath, I was like, holy cow, because it's about a comet coming over this particular house where there's a party going on of like 8 people, and they start, kind of scattering out because weird stuff starts happening, and then they end up walking to another house where they're in a different dimension and a
Right.
different reality with the same people, and the people start getting mixed up,
Oh,
and
ooh,
it's just like,
I gotta watch.
whoa, my, yeah, talking about mind blown, but yeah.
Yeah, they said the original Charm though, not the new one that's on Netflix, because that one's ridiculous. I agree.
Okay, Neem, yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah.
I agree. I saw. I think I tried to get into the new version of it. I probably went about midway through the first season, and I was like,
Right.
no, I can't do this. No, and I just like stopped.
Gotcha. Which one was that again?
The new version of Charm, because now there's a new version
Oh, okay, I
on
gotcha.
Netflix. They tried to like reboot it or whatever, but it didn't work. No.
Neem says this fangled remix version they have out now.
What?
Gotcha.
Oh my gosh, I'm already looking at the time and we have 6 minutes left.
Oh, I can't believe it. That's gone by really fast.
For sure. So we can take some last minute questions if anybody else has questions, or we can just chit chat for the last few minutes.
Oh, you froze on me. I don't know if anybody can see me.
Okay, we're back. I think
We're
we
back. Okay.
both blacked out at that point.
Can you guys see us still?
Are we good? Are we back?
I know there's a little bit of a delay, so.
It's not that bad now, season 3, but it will never be as good. Yeah, it's just I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the characters, the storylines, what it was, but I was just like, nope, I'm done.
Right, I gotcha. Yeah. Sometimes the original's better, sometimes the remakes are better.
Oh yeah. And Gerald was asking, "Are you willing to do another life with me?"
I've already told you, yes, of course. Of course. Yes.
There's so much
You're doing
fun.
one with, or she has asked me as well. I've just been blessed with the people. I know you had Mitch on. I'm hoping to do one with Mitch, and he's just got, like you, fantastic energy. So,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. I think Jackie has said a couple, and it keeps scrolling by a couple questions. I'm trying
Oh,
to,
really? Oh, she's asking, what is your muggle job?
What is a muggle job? I don't know what that means.
Your non-magical job, your human job.
Okay, well, I can't go into too much detail. I can tell you that, I am in sales and I'm kind of an assistant manager, but I'm mainly on the phones. But I'm doing both. I'm helping people and, going back and forth, with that. So,
Have you seen
yeah,
Harry
but
Potter?
do you want to know?
Have you seen Harry Potter? Because that's where the term comes from.
Okay, yes, I have, but they didn't resonate with me. But thank you for that. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Regina wants to do one now. Absolutely. You guys are, wow. Incredible.
Yes, the more lives, the better. Look, there's oh my gosh, you have not seen Harry Potter.
Yeah, I have. I promise I have, Neem. But it's been a few years ago, and I've watched a lot of movies since then. I haven't watched another thing weird that happened to me after my spiritual awakening is I just stopped, and especially with YouTube now, I just stopped watching a lot of the things. I used to be into horror a lot, and they it no longer resonated with me.
Right.
So just a weird kind of change thing. But yeah.
I'm the same way. I try to stay away from horror type of movies just because, like, now that my energy has shifted, like, it changes,
Right.
And it changes your perspective. So Tangi asked if you could be any mythical creature, whom and why. That's a good question. I like that one.
Wow, it is. I'm trying to think of the mythical creatures that I know. Oh, yeah, I'd be a badass dragon, right? I'd be the empathetic dragon.
Yes.
Fire energy. I actually have a. I wish it would take me like 10 minutes to dig it out, but I actually have a dragon oracle that has an empathetic. Well, the name of the dragon is Empathy, and it's solid white.
I like that. Oh, well, now he just disappeared altogether. Y'all, I know you can see my window there. Forgive me. Wait, we'll see if he comes back on for the goodbye. The outro. Well, I guess I'll answer that question while we wait for him. Any mythical creature that I don't know, actually. I don't know. There's so many. Yay, you're back. I was like, oh my gosh, it disappeared.
Are you sure it's not Mercury retrograde still, y'all, Renee?
Are we supposed to have one in Neptune coming? I don't know when, though. I think Neptune retrograde is supposed to be coming. I just don't know when. I don't keep up.
I'm not sure either. Yeah. So did you hear me answer the Tammy's question? Yeah, a white empathetic dragon. Definitely.
Right, empathetic dragon. I can't answer that one. I don't know. But a dragon, I think I would be closest to also because I'm I'm an Aries. I have that fireness.
Oh yeah, I would have never thought you were an Aries. But
yes,
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm an Aries. Aries sun, Gemini moon, Taurus rising is my.
Oh wow. Okay, those are like the first three, aren't they?
Yeah.
The first three signs: 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Do you know all your 3 signs or just your sun sign?
I do. So most people think I'm a Scorpio moon. I am not a Scorpio moon. I'm a Scorpio sun. I'm a Cappy rising. I'm a Cappy moon. So
oh, see, that's why
I'm stubborn as hell. Yeah.
Well, that's why I have 4 planets in Capricorn. See?
Do you really? Oh goodness, yeah. I don't know why. I just think of Capricorn. I think of stubborn. So I don't know.
I think I get that from. Actually, I think my sun and moon are both stubborn. It's my rising that keeps me in check.
Right, right. Yeah, I really haven't, I guess delved much into that, as I should to find out more about the moon and, the rising and how that plays into my being. But I know I'm a Scorpio through and through. And I used to have a lot of the negative, talk about being the negative, the lower density used to be that lower density Scorpio. And now I feel like I've embraced a lot of the good characteristics of the Scorpio. So Scorpios are very loyal, and Cedra, and yeah, but you have to control your temper when you're a Scorpio because we have that stinger, right? So I'm constantly transmuting to make sure that I'm not acting out of anger, because no one wants to be around a person when they're always angry, including yourself. You don't want to be around yourself. So yeah, what have we got, Neem?
Neptune retrograde starts June 25th. Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay, that's not. Well, that already happened then, right?
Oh yeah, right. It's June 29th.
Yeah. So we're in that right now. Yep.
You see?
Hi, Ocean. I see you there.
Sorry if we missed anybody through the chat. All right. Well, it's been an hour, you guys. This has been so much fun, Scott. I love your energy.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to come on with me. We'll definitely have to plan something else for the future too, for sure. Because I love, I love doing lives. I love doing collabs, like just the fun energy, where, I love reading for people, but this just helps me ground myself again,
Oh yeah, definitely. And when I figure out how to do lives and start having them, I'm gonna have you on my channel. So if you accept,
just tell me when and what time.
That's awesome. I appreciate this so much. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I appreciate you all.
And if you guys aren't already, like I said, I do have the link to his channel in the description. That way you can go ahead and go subscribe to him. He's posting uploads. How many days now are you posting? I know you've been posting quite a bit lately, but do you have a certain schedule that you post, or are you just randomly uploading?
Well, I'm off on Tuesdays and Sundays, so I try to do 2 or 3 of each of those days, so that I have about 6 a week is what I'm kind of trying to do. 4 to 6 a week. So one's coming up, and I've already got it ready. It's just ready to come out, and it's like an empathic oracle deck that I found. So yeah, that came up. And then when you told me about, you wanted to do this after you watched my empathy video, I was like, I think I have an empathy deck. I need to do that too. So yeah.
Indeed.
So thank you for that.
Well, I won't keep Scott here for very much longer. Thank you guys again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.